Yep.
How long have I been training? 6? 5? 5.
You're 27. You're like new this age.
My name is Brendan Hooper. I'm 20 years old. I've been training parkour here at Hub for about 7 years now. Shout out Tiago, day one. Shout out AJ, Scott, Dalton, Dylan, throwback with Jeremiah. And I'm from Mansfield, Massachusetts, up in the East Coast.
Why did you start doing parkour?
I used to play basketball, and then I got hurt, and then it was like a long time before I could do anything again. And I think I saw it in a newspaper article, an ad for the gym, and my mom tried to hide it from me. And then I went in the cabinet one day and found it, and then I asked her to take me here, and then the rest is history.
What's it like going from like a beginner in parkour to competing at the World Championships? This is your second year?
It's a bit of a full circle moment, I guess. I remember always coming into the gym, seeing some of the guys from Boston here and never picturing myself in their shoes, I guess. Watching them do bar prees, I never think I would hit. And now I feel like it's the other way around where they get to watch me go compete in Vancouver, which is very, very cool.
What is the difference in the feeling of competing this year now that you have 1 year under your belt?
I guess the biggest thing is I have expectations. Last year, I went in completely blind. I didn't expect much. I just wanted to compete and put on a performance I was proud of, and I did exactly that. So now I'm hoping to crack the podium this year. I was able to finish top 5 last year, so I have some high sights set for Tim and Daryl, Arturo as well. So I'm coming for you guys.
How do you handle the pressure of a competition at such a high level like SPL?
Going into it, I'm always very nervous. A lot of bathroom trips before I go. But once you're in the moment, everything goes away. I think that's my favorite part of it all, especially during semifinals when you're out there by yourself. It's just you and the obstacles. You don't know where you are, who's around you. It's just you and the challenge you're trying to do. It's very awesome.
You have a pretty busy life outside of parkour, right? How do you end up balancing training for the championships and balancing your work life?
I do my best. I do work long hours every day except for the weekend, so I always try just to put all my energy into this every day. No days off is what I try to do when I'm not here. I'm at the gym trying to get stronger so I can do better at the parkour level. But it's really just, I look forward to parkour at the end of every day, so I think that's the big thing. I'm always looking to get to the gym and just better myself as an athlete.
What are you most looking forward to at SPL 3? Any specific type of challenges, rounds of competition, people to compete against you're excited about?
Seeing everyone that was there last year, I was able to make connections with a few of them, so it's been a lot of fun to compete with Xander. I feel like we've been neck and neck every single competition we went to, so it's always, I'm looking forward to compete with him. And I really enjoyed the finals round from last year. Just being out in the same spot as all the best people in the world is a surreal feeling, so it's very, very cool to feel training with them.
At this point, now that you've competed against them, are there athletes that you're still looking up to? Parkour, other sports that motivate you?
I would say definitely Joe Rizzo. He was some inspiration from day one. I remember I got to see him at Hubbable, and seeing all the unknown guys and the Boston guys trained 100% sparked my interest. And Daryl, I met him at Woodward a few years back. Same thing, real eye-opener, seeing just such great athletes in person. It just opens up a whole new world of stuff that I can try to chase, and hopefully one day I can have the same effect on a younger kid training parkour.
You've had a couple injuries in your training. How do you deal with setbacks and limitations through injury?
It's probably the worst feeling in the world because you're always reaching your peak, and then an injury is just something that destroys your spirit as much as your body. So I think that the biggest thing is mentally recovering is just as important as physically. I hurt my shoulder 3-4 years back and I couldn't compete in, I believe it was EPC, but that's not a thing anymore. So just recovering it always feels like such a rush to get back to where you were, but it's always just, I've been focused on taking my time and making sure I recover the right way so I can come back even stronger.
You, Will, Gio, Moshe all have a pretty great training dynamic. How do you think that helps influence your training or experience at competition this year?
I think it takes all of the stress off of training parkour when I'm with them. A lot of the times when I'm training solo, I get in my head, talking to myself a lot, but with them here, they're just all really stupid just like me, so it takes all the pressure off of me. We get to joke around. All of our strengths are helpful to one another. I always look towards them when I need help on challenges, and vice versa, they always come to me. So I think that dynamic is very important on how we all grew as athletes and why we're all so accomplished today.
Do you have any quirky rituals or routines that you do during competition?
I stole this one from David, but just rocking back and forth a lot, counting yourself down over and over again, just waiting to be in the right headspace. It's not a good trait. It's a little bit of a pain during the timed rounds, but it's really helped me just be 100% comfortable with what I'm doing. Also, I picked this up last year, but you don't want to wipe your shoes on your hands, so I've started tearing off my leg hairs, wiping my shoes. I have bald spots twice a year from all the competitions I go to, so half the year is recovering the hair and then the other half is tearing it off.
What are your goals in parkour? How do you see yourself moving through? You're fairly young. How do you think you find yourself moving through competitive parkour?
I've never really looked towards the future. I'm always just focused on today, I guess, just being the best I can. Whatever comes up, comes up. I really hope that one day I'll be able to take the top spot at SPL. It's always been a dream after my first competition here at Hub. Just try to be the best that there is. I'm very competitive, so especially going to places like this, it just fires me up to be the best I can.
What advice would you give somebody competing in their first year of competition or maybe even their first SPL comp?
Definitely set your own goals. Don't focus on what's going on around you. You're gonna see people that have trained longer than you, people that have trained less than you, and everyone is gonna be at a different level. So just make sure that you're competing at a level you're comfortable with and that you're gonna be proud with when you go home. That's the biggest thing.
Last year you placed in a tie for 4th place with Xander. What are you hoping for this year?
First. Coming for you, Timmy.
What are your strengths and weaknesses in parkour?
I think I have a lot of power, but sometimes I'm not very good at applying it. I struggle with short run-ups and just terms of awkward setups to challenges, but when it comes to just size of challenges, I think I have very good strengths in that. I'm very comfortable with swings, and something I'm working on for sure is my Kongs and a lot of the vaults. I don't put too much time into training those, so something I'm going to be focused on going into the competition.
Your skill, or we're going to see a double header? You're going to go skill speed?
I'm thinking about it. I just want to really listen to my body going into it. In San Diego and Montreal as well, speed was a really good way to kind of get the nerves out, warm my body up without tiring myself out too much. I almost qualified in Montreal, but stupid mistake, I disqualified myself, so I think that made me a little bit bitter, so I definitely want to see how I do in speed again come in August.
Name.
People are going to do play basketball. It says hooping.
Get it?